Hi, so I thought it would be helpful if you saw the actual Jeopardy PowerPoint file and saw how you can actually change it to suit your individual needs, and see how it works when it's actually being displayed as a slideshow. So, if we were to show it from the beginning, it's just got these fun little graphics and noise so that your students can get excited about it. So I'm just skipping ahead.
Here comes the Jeopardy round. We'll get into this one quickly. We'll show you the categories right now.
Okay, so this is the important part. This is the single Jeopardy screen. You can see the names of the categories are across the top, and much like Alex Trebek does, I'll quickly go through and explain what the categories are. For example, for ionic or covalent, I would tell my students you're going to be given a chemical formula, and you're going to need to say if it is in fact an ionic compound or if it is a covalently bonded compound. For more electronegative, you're going to be given a pair of or a series of element symbols, and based on their locations on the periodic table, you need to say which one would you expect to be more electronegative. So I do let students use their periodic tables. I encourage that while we are going through metal, nonmetal, or metalloid, or semi-metal. I also accept that as an answer. Here they're given the element symbol. They have to say what type of metal or non-metal or in the middle it is. For numbers of protons and neutrons, again, I expect them to use their periodic tables and look up the element and give me the number of protons and neutrons. Chemical formula, here they're actually given a diagram of a compound, and they need to say what the chemical formula would be for that compound. And then PT family, they're given an element and they have to say what the periodic table family that that element belongs to is. So as this is being displayed on the screen, each student representative would then stand up and get ready to answer. The last correct answering team side, that student would get to choose the next category and dollar amount. For the first one, I usually just start with the very top left corner. When you click on the dollar amount, you'll see that the answer comes up on the screen, and then students, the two students who are competing, whichever one wants to answer the question, would raise his or her hand first. That's the person I would call on. And then they would give me what their answer is. And in this case, hopefully, I'd have a student say, "What is ionic?" And if I click on the forward arrow on my laptop, then we can see that the correct question, because this is Jeopardy, the answers are questions, right? And so that would pop up on the screen, and everybody then could say, "Yes, that person is right." And then when it's time to go back to the home screen, you just click on that question mark icon. And we can see when we go back to the home screen, any clues that have already been used up now color code to this blue color. And so students can easily tell which questions and categories have been covered. Phosphorus, hopefully a student would say, what is 15 and 16? Here it is. We're going for the most common isotope. And again, once the student has answered and we need to go back to the home screen, I can click on this icon right down here and it takes me back. And so in this manner, we would go through all of the questions in these first categories. Here I'm going to click escape and go back to the actual file. And we can see there is also a double Jeopardy that is set up as well. And you can play through single Jeopardy only if that's what you choose, or you can go through and play the whole thing. I've found that depending on how in tune the students are with the process, sometimes we don't get all the way to Final Jeopardy. But it is easy to go through the actual file and figure out which actual frames correspond to which of these different squares on the home page, home screen, and you can go through and change the questions and the categories to suit your own needs. Maybe you want to make some more difficult questions, maybe you want them to be easier, maybe you want to change categories altogether. So it is completely editable and completely doable.